Hello, witches. Welcome to Grimrose Academy, episode 12. We are going to have our penultimate episode next week. Can you guys believe that?
God.
No.
It's
I don't want it
crazy.
to be over so soon.
Oh, well, you never know. Maybe we'll get another season. Support us, which I will go into how you can do so. But before I do so, we have some announcements. First and foremost, we would like to thank our supporter or our sponsor, Roll20. Thank you so much, Roll20, for sponsoring today's episode. If you would like to see how, or if you'd like to have a way to virtually roll and play games with your friends, Roll20 is a fantastic platform to do so. You can make custom sheets. You can see, if you're wondering how we made our dice all sparkly, that's because we made our custom sheet, and depending on how you roll, we have different things that happen. You can also do amazing maps with lighting. So if you want to make sure like this person can only see X amount because they don't have dark vision, you can totally do that, which is really neat. It's a lot of cool things that you can do with Roll20. Beyond that, we also put out a message over on our Patreon in regards to EE stepping down. He is no longer going to be our CEO for Roll For It, and Bentham Plays will be taking over as CEO for Roll For It. If you want more details on that, head on over to our Patreon to get information. We've also pinned that post in all of our social channels if you're curious about it as well. We did talk a little bit about it when it came to Ascension in regards to him focusing on his career right now. And, we hope that someday we'll have EE back. We love having him as a GM. We're very sad for Ascension, but we did culminate the end of that chapter, and we will potentially see if in the future, if he has time, that we can do kind of like a wrap up for that story, because I know we all have questions. We want answers. And I know y'all want to know, will Perrin and Arena get together? Who knows? Beyond that, we also have new emotes. Check them out. They're awesome. You can throw us under a bus now. If you're like me and you're curious about the lore, you can do that. You can say hello to new people. We have, the ominous door that always is the problem. All kinds of goodies. So definitely enjoy. And of course, we have our dumpster fire, which I'm sure we'll use a ton. So thank you all so much for supporting us. And we hope that you like the new emotes. If you have other ideas for emotes that you'd like to see, send your ideas our way. Maybe we'll make them come to fruition. Also, we do have merch over up on designbyhumans.com/shop/rollfort. If you need something to keep yourself cozy and warm for the winter season, or maybe you need something to put your hot cocoa in, that is a great space to go do that. And you get to rep us. And of course, if we do want to say thank you to our supporter today, which is Hero Sheep. Thank you for supporting us, Hero Sheep. We hope this episode is a good one for you. And if you would like to support us, just like Hero Sheep, and become a legend tier or above, where you get to play in a private GM'd game, you can head on over to our Patreon, where not only are there those type of rewards, but there are also other things up there, like our monthly recap is up. We have NPC name submission posts that's up. We have the Ascension character sheets that are out now, and all kinds of goodies, years and years of goodies. If you ever need anything, definitely go check it out over there. And I'm sure we're going to have more for Grimrose Academy now that my life has gotten a little bit easier. But you can probably see why I didn't put as much stuff up. We were just trying to wrap up all of that stuff and make sure we had it smooth before the transfer happened. And of course, you can subscribe to us over on Twitch if you're watching us live on Twitch. Hi. Enjoy those emotes. You get access to emotes and the VODs in advance. And of course, if you're a YouTube member, you get access to some of those emotes as well. And whether you're a YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, or a Patreon supporter, you can get access to our private Discord, where we talk about all the things. And there's been many theories since last episode. Some of y'all are going down the right track, others not so much, but it has been interesting reading. And we know not everyone can support us in monetary means, so there's tons of ways to support us for free, like watching us live here on Twitch and making clips. Please make clips. You may see your clip featured on social, like today's clip of Zahir. Very interesting clip. Which, I'm like, who's scratching whose itches today? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Now they're all laughing. They're like, what clip?
Thank you for clipping that.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you. We'll have to do a montage of all the clips for the end because I feel like there's just too many good moments. But we hope that you guys continue to make more clips because that's handy for us. And you can only do it when we're live. So it's a mission for you. That's your quest. And of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, we hope that you will subscribe, like, and comment because all of those little things help the algorithms go whir and hopefully make people find us. And you can also follow us on Twitter as long as it exists, and Facebook. Like, comment, share, retweet, all of the jazz. And if there's other spaces you'd like to see us in, let us know. We'll see what happens. And this is the point where I would hand it over to the GM, which is me. Hi. So let's get into you guys ready for today?
Oh, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. What has the Wicked Witch got for y'all today?
I take it back. I'm not ready.
Witches, it's getting cold out. Anyone else notice the winter solstice came a little earlier than expected? I heard the Elder Elm is completely frozen. I have my suspicions that something fishy is still going down, and we all know where to look. With the arrival of Parents' Day, I'm sure everyone is on edge. Wonder how P feels on these days. Isn't every day Parents' Day for her? And of course, Allegri's father has been spotted around, but he's been so preoccupied with the Elder Elm, I wonder if he'll even find time for his son. Zahir was spotted getting a call from his parents, so we all know his scholarship family will be trying to vie for him to lead their legacy. Being the first of your family to attend Grimrose is quite the pressure, but so far I can't argue that Z nestled himself into a winning coven. They are tournament champions after all. What I am most excited about is seeing the elusive Grimrose's family. What's Violet hiding? I think there's more to her story than we all think, and I still believe she has something to do with all the odd things going down in the school. I mean, she's the only new thing to happen in years. What else could it be? Well, stay warm, witches, and keep my DMs full. Hexo, hexo, Wicked Witch. And with that, we are going to actually do a flashback. We see kind of everyone in their groups. We have Allegri quickly grabbing Violet's hand as the two of them see like this ice kind of forming around them out in the wilderness, in the Whispering Wilds. Zahir and Persephone are kind of like standing down like below an area by the tower, not close enough to the Grim Tower, but like a little bit further off. And the two of them see this little essence of water kind of freeze over, and it just kind of starts a kaleidoscope effect of ice all across the ground and up on the walls, and everything starts freezing over. And the two of them look at each other and immediately start running towards the Grimrose. We're going to start first with Allegri and Violet arriving. You arrive as these big, huge whispering willow trees are now freezing, and their little sparkles are kind of almost like frozen even in air. And where the flower was that you left, Allegri, because I know you had left it encased in those vines, right? That's kind of how you left it.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
it also had that stone pot that was kind of where the
On top of it. Yeah, so the vines are there, and then they're on top of the pot, and the flowers in the center there. Yeah.
Mhm.
The vines all look frozen over, and you see this like lump of ice.
I know you know more about this, but that's not good for plants, right?
It's not. I'm worried that, well, maybe the vines protected it if it froze itself, but I'm gonna ask you to do something that I would never ask.
Okay.
You used fire before, right?
You see Violet take a big gulp. Yes.
Can you melt the ice that's on top?
I will try.
Be careful, because we don't want to hurt the flower.
No. And I'm gonna step forward, and I know I have Sunfire Burst, but I feel like I want to try a more gentle spell before I do Sunfire Burst on this
All right.
plant that we have, but I have to make one up because
Well, you could also try to control Sunfire Burst. What is Sunfire Burst exactly?
I'll put it in the chat. It is
Yeah. Oh yeah, pop
create a
it in the
burst of
chat.
fire to distract and distort vision and or to catch one item or entity on fire.
Yeah, it's a little bit more aggressive. I will say because I'm a rules of fun person, I will say that you could utilize this to make the burst of fire, to catch it on fire, but in a controlled manner. Like it catches on fire and just melts away the snow and then you stop it, right? But that's
Okay.
only if you're successful. If you're partially successful or not successful, there may be repercussions to that. So if you want to use that, I would allow that for that. But if you'd like to make a new spell just to make it safe, that's also an option. I'm just giving you an alternative.
I'm
I'll agree.
Risk
Will
versus
is that-
risk versus reward here.
I was gonna say Allegory will help cast if
Okay.
you want him to.
If you help me cast, I'm also a level 2 in Sunfire Burst versus being at a level 0 of a new spell. So I think the whole point
That's
is
why I was
like,
giving you a little risk versus reward there.
yeah, since
Yeah.
like I've been at this school trying to like actually control this spell, so this would be a good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do Sunfire Burst.
Okay. And you're going to do this as a spell circle. Is that what you guys are saying?
I think so, right?
All right. So if you want to put that spell in your book, Allegory, you're going to be starting at level 0 for this, correct?
Correct.
Correct. I already know immediately you're going to get a negative for
Hating fire.
For hating fire. And you're also going to start immediately with a -3 as well beyond that. So together, -4. Katie, you will also
-4.
start as a -3.
Okay.
This is the encounter is going to be a minus here.
All right. Well, I have a -4,
Mhm.
but I admire Violet. I was still putting the spell in. Oh, now I have to scroll again.
Did someone move it?
Yeah.
I didn't touch it.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. All right.
For also just to note, in Roll20, you can share character sheets or any sheets, honestly. But if you change tabs, it will change it for everybody who's looking at it. So
All right. So
Allegory is putting fire in his spell book. This is I feel like
Yeah.
maybe that's an extra negative. I don't know.
You're overcoming a fear of yours in a way.
Dude, if Katie crits,
Yeah.
we know what's gonna happen. Something needs to
So-
change with your fear of fire.
You love fire.
so I'm inventive,
Yeah.
and I feel like this is a very inventive way to utilize this spell, and also in this sense.
yeah.
He's acting
I'll
in a caring manner because he cares about the plant.
Ooh. I'll allow it,
Um,
but it's a little different.
It is a little different.
I think
He's
insecure is going to
insecure,
be a negative.
a
for you.
negative.
Yeah.
Also, you're literally overgrown, as in covered in plants, flammable materials.
That's true. I don't
That
think that'll
means I
hinder
could
you
be
here.
good at fire, though.
I don't think that will hinder or help you in this scenario.
I feel like this is a delicate situation, and my eyes are delicate.
No. What?
You like the wilderness, aren't we in the wilderness?
Yeah, we are very. I was just at my favorite place too.
Yes. Yeah.
So wilderness.
The creek is in the Whispering Wilds, so
Okay, so do I get a plus for that too?
yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay. I admire Violet, but not the
I think
second.
you already
well,
added
highly
that.
capable. I haven't added it. I said
Okay.
it. I never added it because I didn't get a result. So that puts me at a 0 right now.
Yeah, because you had a -5, and then you had inventive, caring, wilderness.
Favorite place.
What was that?
Favorite place.
Wilderness. Oh, favorite place also. And then, yeah. So now you are 0. Normal rolling.
Yeah.
This is not conducive to your rose, so that's not a +1.
No.
No.
This will.
But my
you-
family is valiant, and I feel like this is kind of a valiant thing to do.
Yeah, I would say this is a valiant thing. You're trying to save something.
And it's about to be family day.
+1.
I don't think that the family day will help you.
That's fine.
But maybe you're thinking about your family in the sense, or you're the essence of your family. I like the valiant part.
Yeah. So I only know of a +1. Fire dances, but I'm not going to count that for liking dancing.
No.
Yeah, I think just a
Liking
+1
dancing
then.
won't help you.
Mention the eyes
+1?
again.
Yeah, my eyes are delicate and is
Uh-oh.
I think Tyler froze. I
We
thought you were
lost
just thinking.
No.
We lost you, but like normally I'm like a face. You were just in like a thinking face. Like,
Now you're waving.
Now that's my face that I normally have when I'm frozen. Uh-oh, we
All
might
right.
lose him. Okay, I think we got maybe.
My-
We don't hear.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Tyler, just roll with a +1. See what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The way you're freezing is funny.
Yikes!
Oh no! Oh no!
And that
Did
was
you?
with a +1?
You didn't add a plus. You
I
just
rolled
put number one in
lowest
there,
as
yeah.
possible.
All right. Well, Katie, fortunately, the system is not one that like we tell a story together and we don't hinder each other, so it's not going to hurt you, but it's not gonna help you. So you're still
Okay.
at a -3 with no pluses for this roll.
Okay.
It's all you. You watch as like Allegory is trying to help you, but the fear of even casting fire is consuming his mind, and he just looks like he's struggling with the idea of like making fire and the potential that he might catch on fire.
Okay.
I feel like as he's casting, he's like looking away.
I'm like realizing
Like, oh, I don't wanna-
how
oh yeah, like when you're
uncomfortable-
like casting, but you're like, no.
Okay. So while I notice Allegory is having a time with this, I'm gonna say I have discerning eyes, so I'm discerning where the fire needs to go.
I think that barely, but it will make the cut.
I'm a -4, right?
You're a -3
Okay.
to start.
I am insightful, so I'm trying to be wise about how I'm casting this spell.
Yeah.
I'm anxious, so it's probably a
Negative, yeah. You're back up to -2.
I'm tenacious, so I feel like I'm determined to melt the ice on this.
Yeah.
I don't know if scrappy or cunning would really
I don't
play
think
into this.
scrappy, but cunning might help you.
Okay. Yeah, we're trying to be creative in a solution.
Yeah, and you're trying to do it in a way that like isn't going to hinder the plant, right? Or the pot underneath and stuff.
Yeah, just melt the ice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 0. I admire Allegory,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm with Allegory. I love to read in nature.
Mm-hmm. Did you have that somewhere specific?
It's under my favorite place is the library because I love to read in nature. Reminds me of the calm of the
Wait,
trees.
It,
I
it
used
would
to
make
speak
sense if
to
you were
read.
reading. You're not reading right
Yeah.
now.
Mhm.
But 100%, if there was some kind of like reading that was happening in the wilderness, like magical reading or something, I would say it makes sense.
Okay.
This is a desperate stab.
Okay, desperate stab, go.
Your spell book is minimal, and you're trying to minimize the damage of the fire as much as possible.
Ooh.
Your spell book is, what was it?
It's clean and minimal.
Clean and minimal. I don't think that will apply. Minimal.
It was a desperate stab.
You know what? I'll allow. And then you also have Grimrose, which will give you a bonus anyway. So you're at a
I-
+3, right?
Yes. And this is a huge reach.
Okay,
I like
what's the
cooking.
huge reach?
I like cooking, and sometimes that involves fire.
No. That's not
Okay.
gonna- that
Hold on,
wasn't-
hold on. But your favorite place, you like it because it's warm, full of life, and smells good. It's warm, and you're making warmth.
I don't think that's
In your
gonna
house,
apply
favorite
here.
place in the house.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think that's gonna apply here. But I
You're
appreciate
photogenic.
the desperateness in which you are all trying to cling to
Wait,
yourselves.
But what about the reason that you admire Allegory?
Ooh, I admire Allegory because
think
he's
it's
honest with
honest.
me and came with important information that would affect Violet's life.
I don't think that applies here.
Okay, so 3.
3.
All right, I'm gonna square up because I'm gonna step back forward because I see Allegory is having trouble with this, and so I'm gonna step forward. So if I do cast this, the fire doesn't scare Allegory.
Okay.
I'm so nervous. Don't want to burn this plant alive.
Well, it might not be you burning the plant alive. We'll see what happens.
All right, I'm gonna roll it with the +3. Oh my god. Okay, success.
Of course, because Katie's like
Not a crit.
extremely lucky. It's if you got a crit here, it would be really funny too.
Oh.
All right. Katie, describe to us how this happens as you kind of step forward. You can see that Allegory is struggling with this spell, and it's going to be all on your shoulders to carry this. What does it look like?
I intentionally am trying to cast this in a smaller manner than I have in the past. So as I step forward, I open my hands up, and it's like flames gently, almost like lava, kind of flows down to the ground around the Grimrose, and it creates a circle, a wide circle around it, and then it's like a dome of fire starts to go up and encase it for a second, and it melts all the ice, and then it just goes out as soon as the ice is melted.
And right as it goes out, Persephone and Zahir, you're running up the hill. It's been kind of icy, this trail that you've been going on, and you've been trying to go as quickly as you can, but at the same time, like, it's a little slippery, so you haven't been able to go at a pace that you would normally, you know, be able to full on run to. And maybe some of you don't really like running.
I was actually thinking, if anything, Persephone would suggest like being wolfy to go through the snow, trying to,
Gosh.
yeah, like that.
I love that. Do you both
Yes.
transform?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We're going to keep a
that
counter of that,
seems to make a lot more
Persephone.
sense.
If you don't mind, let me see on your sheet. Oh, I don't have it, so you can add an extra physical trait, do I? Add an extra personality trait, but next to it write physical.
Okay.
And put your transformation stuff on there. Something that goes with that, like shapeshifting.
Under
I guess you have like
personality?
shapeshifting, but I want you
Yeah,
to
I
have
do.
a physical thing on there.
Okay.
And then next to it, just mark a 1. We're just gonna keep a little track of something. A little
So something
pie chart tracker.
Oh my. So something physical, just like put.
like wolf-like or something, some kind of physical trait that makes sense for,
Got it.
yeah. And then
Yeah,
next to it,
wolf-like is
put physical and then +1. Or not +1, just a
just
number
one.
1, like a marker number on it. Yeah.
All right.
I love this. So you both shape shift. We see Zahir kind of running as a werewolf. And are you running on all 4s as you're running as a werewolf? Yeah. And then we see Persephone transform. And Persephone's a white wolf, right? Zahir, what does yours look like, or what colors? I don't know if we described that before.
I'm reddish brown with a black mane.
Ooh, like a mane on the back. I love that. And we just see these two like animal-like creatures running into the woods, actually fairly easily. I take it back. You are not sliding around. You make it to the top like one of you is on one side, on the left side of Allegory, and the other one of you is on the right side of Allegory. And we have this vision of like the three of you kind of looking at Violet. As Violet, you see the cauldron, now the ice, kind of like a little steam coming off of it. And the cauldron is there.
I have a huge sigh of relief.
Yes.
It worked. We did it.
I wasn't looking.
Well, it went well, I think. Do you want to check it and make sure it's okay?
Yeah. Also, I guess hi, Persephone and Zahir. We're checking on the rose. As he walks slowly to approach it.
I shift back. Yeah, we were thinking of doing the same. I may have frozen the school.
That was you?
Mm-hmm.
How did you freeze the school?
I'm no longer possessed by a sad heart of water despair.
That's good, but how does that freeze a school?
As it came out, it froze, and now the school's frozen.
Is it
Look, I don't
still-
understand it.
What happened to when it froze?
It kind of shattered, and the pieces landed in the grass, and then from there it just started spreading it. Persephone, back me up here, right? It was like that.
Did it die?
Persephone's gonna shift back as well, and I don't know. I tried to talk to it. We thought maybe if somebody else talked to it, and I saw something like a memory, and then it shattered and everything froze.
Well, maybe I just like standing there speechless, like trying to figure out how something shatters and like freezes the entire school. Maybe it's okay. You know how like water can freeze and become liquid and also a gas. Maybe it can like reform into a new mutant kind of.
It seemed like it broke. I saw something like I said, like a memory, but it was someone, and they were looking at another person, and it felt like there was longing and sadness, but I couldn't see who they were looking at. And then this.
I think that our next step should be trying to talk to whoever that was. But anyway, let's just focus on the flower right now. Allegory?
Allegory, do you
What
lift
do I see?
the cauldron? You lift the...
I mean, the cauldron was broken around it. The vines were kind of like the lid, so as the ice melted, he's pulling away the vines to look inside.
Okay. You look inside and you see the rose. It is bright. All the petals, each color is kind of like almost pulsating.
It's okay. It seems to still be okay. You should see it. It's really colorful. When I was here last time, it was only the yellow petal, but this time all of them are shining and emanating. But it's okay.
Maybe
Wait,
we
what-
need to move it and take it back with us. I don't know that it can stay out here anymore.
Can you put it in your room? Allegory? Is it here?
You want us to take a super special secret flower that looks like a Grimrose and just put it in our bedroom. Just check it.
Yes, Allegory knows how to take care of plants, and there's already a lot of plants in there, so nobody would suspect anything.
It's glowing.
If I may, does it look like a Grimrose? Because in the books, isn't a Grimrose red? this is not a red rose.
Yeah, this one has like different colored petals.
Also, uprooting a plant and trying to relocate it is a very dangerous thing and very risky for the plant, even for me to do.
What about your dad? It's Parents Week, right? Maybe your dad could help? Should we tell your dad?
Last time I told my dad something, we had to scoop poop.
Oh. Yeah, maybe that's not a good idea.
In all fairness, that's not the worst kind of punishment you can get. We could have been expelled.
That's very true. That would not have been good. I don't know what to do. I mean, if the school freezes again, then it's just dead. So what risk are we going to take to leave it out here versus digging it up and putting it somewhere maybe safer?
It seems that the vines were protected it from the freezing before. I assume it'll be okay, like it was before.
Okay, I think you know more than I do with these things. I trust what you think.
We
But-
can check on it, but
We could.
oh,
Why is
I
it
could-
glowing though? I mean,
I mean, it's
That's
a
my
magical
question.
plant.
I know it's a magical plant, but like, why? How? I mean, I just wish we knew more about this thing.
Perhaps each one of us can check on it throughout the day tomorrow and make sure it's okay. In the meantime, I gave it a healing salve. Is it still there? Let me see.
It's gone.
I think I need to make another one just in case.
Try and imbue the pot with sort of a warming spell. Like it took ages to do it for the comb, but you know, it's the same thing, right? Someone tell me I'm not doing something silly, please.
I don't know that there's a right answer to any of this. I think we just need to take care of it. And if that's how we have to take care of it, then we should try it.
And I agree, we should come out in shifts and look at it and check on it.
Do I remember anything from researching Grimrose or anything about multicolored plants?
I mean, we could do a roll to see what you would know, but I think in regards to Grimrose, are you talking about Grimrose specifically or just plants in general?
I think this, like, trying to rack my brain for this specific plant that we're seeing.
Okay. Yeah, in your research that you found, and there's not a lot of research out there for Grimrose, it's almost like someone has been trying to keep it hidden, right? Even the books that you did find were hard to grasp at, because when we're in the library or in the archive of reverie, it's really about feeling the book and trying to get it right, and then it comes to you. But it's always been like a very hard thing to do, and it's mostly been depicted as a red rose, as you've like a deep dark red rose, and not very colorful at all. So you haven't seen much about like multicoloredness, but there is something that Allegory might remember from the time he visited when he was alone. What
I don't
did it look
understand.
like that was different for you, Allegory?
He had said it earlier, but I'll say it again. He said the one petal glistened yellow, and it was emanating just like it was before. So he's just like, I mean, the last time I was here, it really only glimmered yellow, and the rest of it seemed rather normal. like the petal of yellow was emanating.
Just so I'm 100% sure, they're all glittering now.
Yes.
Oh, you're yellow rose. We all have different color roses, and if it just went off when you were here, and now we're all here, and it's glimmering, I don't know what that means, but it means that's something about us all being here, right?
I mean, we're missing one. There's no purple.
And
Bellspray.
that one is not glistening.
Do covens get their own special roses and like nobody told us?
Um, n- that's not a thing.
Okay, so my thought is, what if Bellspray was here? What if we saw what happens if all of us are here?
I could write to her.
I mean, we did kind of see that when we made it, right? When it grew.
We could try and see again. I remember I had to be uncovered, that there was something special about its bloom when all of us were together. Because we planted it when we were all together. So maybe it takes all of us to do something with it. For now, we need to keep this thing alive until Bellspray can get here, I suppose. Or another shadow secret. Does anyone have a shadow secret in their back pocket? If you have a shadow secret in your back pocket, you have to tell us. Didn't think so. Okay. Just gonna put both of my hands on either side of the cauldron, and I'm gonna try and imbue it with heat, like a gentle warmth.
Okay.
I've done this once before with the comb, but I don't have a spell for it. So
Well, the comb you maybe
do-
bought that way. And I know Allegri's also trying to make a healing or a nature's gift healing salve.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you guys wanted to coven cast that or if I should just cast it myself. I was anticipating I did it while you were talking, so
just cast it yourself. It's
I
fine.
can cast it myself.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead and cast that yourself. See how that goes.
Bearing. All right, so I know I like wilderness. I'm inventive and I'm caring. Would this qualify for shielding because it used it last time, and I think it might have used it in the circumstance of when the freeze came over?
I'll allow it, but you're also going to get a negative for insecure.
Okay, so I'm still at +3. My favorite place is the garden or closest to my grandmother because of the garden.
Mm-hmm.
So being around plants. I'm overgrown and I tend to use myself because the aloe aspect relation to it. That would be 5.
There's a lot of moisture about because there's a lot of snow and ice.
I'm close to my favorite place. That's 6. I'm a yellow rose is 7. I don't know if what you said would qualify. That's
I don't
up
think
to
that's going to
Maggie.
qualify. The snow is not going to help you with the healing salve.
Yeah. So I think 7 plus 7.
Yeah. Sounds
That
good.
sounds right. Here.
Ooh, critical
Right.
success. Tell us who gets an attribute, or you can change an attribute from somebody. And also tell us what the healing salve looks like as you place it.
This one, because I've only ever really just succeeded on this one. This one is seemingly, so basically plants kind of grow towards Allegri's hand, and he closes his hand and it just kind of emanates a golden light. And when he opens his hand this time, instead of being like a clear liquid encased in like a leaf, this time it's almost like golden. It's just like, and it shines its own kind of light in its own way. So it's like super powered healing salve. And he just lightly sets it down next to the rose. And like last time, it almost like nod in agreement. Does it do the same?
This time, you see the ground kind of rumble around the plant, and snow and ice kind of move past it to formulate like a little circle. And the salve gets seeped into the ground around it. And it kind of glows lightly.
Ooh. And I think in this case, I think affecting Violet because of the recent attempted cast makes sense. I'll figure that out. I'd rather go on with RP and I'll figure out the critical thing.
Right, so here, what did you want to do? Do you still want to heat up the broken pot?
Yeah, I want to give it like a gentle, sustained warmth. I think I carved the cone myself, but I had my mom cast a spell the first time. So I'm trying to recreate what she did using my memory as best I can. Because, I collect spells from family. That's a thing I do. This is the best I've gotten for description. And I feel like as we level up, maybe I can use like warmth, cooling things, water, one day. So, what do I got? I got self-doubting, so that's a -1. Because I don't think this can work, and I asked people, is this a good idea? And I'm still not sure. So I feel like that's very much a -1. I'm caring, and I do care about the plant and the people around me right now, so we're back to 0. I think that's it. I think we're back to we're doing.
You want
this is
help
0.
casting the spell?
I feel like that's a good. Hold on, before we do it, I feel like because I don't know the spell at all, I feel like it's something got to do myself.
Fair.
I'm closest to my mother, and this is the woman who I learned the spell from as best as I can.
Yeah, I'll allow the mother part. And obviously this is definitely a Order of the
Rose,
Flame.
yeah.
So you have a +2.
+2. I like my house because it's warm.
Is that what you have? Yeah, you did have I will. Yeah. You have like something to think of to reference.
Alrighty, let's do it then. Let's do it. What's the worst that could happen?
Right. Partial. You see the you're doing this specifically to the cauldron part, right? You see the cauldron kind of heat up as your hands touch it, and the warmth, you can feel the warmth transfer from your hands to the cauldron. But you don't feel like it's going to stay warm for very long. You feel like you'd have to like hover over this and cast it continually for it to be really prolonged effect.
Okay, so I'm gonna try this again tomorrow, and we'll see what. Well, it's Parents' Day tomorrow. I can get my mom here to do it. Wait, are we comfortable with telling my mother about this? She's not gonna tell anyone. She doesn't want to get me kicked out, and also,
Your mom would be okay with that?
I mean, just casting a warmth spell on a flower, I feel like she wouldn't take offense to it.
Didn't last we talk, we thought your mom was a blood witch.
What?
I don't remember.
Your mom's a blood
Like
witch?
she like she uses herbs and things and then blood or something. I don't remember Zahir.
I don't remember.
She said her casting was different. That's all I recall.
Yeah,
and then
she uses a lot
remember
of
thinking blood witch.
She uses a lot of supportive herbs and stuff. She's not like me, but she's a good witch. She doesn't do anything bad. She uses her magic to heal people for the most part. You know, soothing a burn or like cauterizing a wound, that kind of thing.
I mean, if you tell your mom, then I should tell my dad, but I don't know if it's a good idea because I don't know what they're going to do with it. And it's like our thing and we made it. And I don't know if it'll become corrupted and awful and evil or what they'll use it for.
I mean,
Not that my dad would do something like that.
I can just tell my mom that it's for another present for a friend. I don't think she's gonna. The Coma Gate Bellsprit. I carved it, but she enchanted it.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you
some
can
kind
heat.
of.
So you would. It would be a portable thing. You want to have her come here and do it to the cauldron.
It's not portable. It just keeps it warm over a period of time. I mean, if you really
Yeah.
fine tune it, you can increase the warmth and decrease the warmth. But the comb can do that. But you know, this one's simple. We just keep
What
it
if you
warm for a
got,
long
like-
period of time.
What if you got like a rock and you just did it to the rock and then you brought the rock here and put it next to it? Would that work?
I feel like we're overthinking it. It's just a spell on a cauldron.
I think so long as maybe what you said earlier is what you do and tell her it's a present or something. Just, I don't know. It's so sensitive and we don't know a lot about it right now. I would maybe not give her all the information.
Okay. I'll tell her it's a present and that I need her help. But if she's not comfortable with it, she's not comfortable with it, and she's comfortable with it, we'll cast a spell. It'll be fine.
Or you could go in wolf form and just cuddle it. Because wolves like to run in packs and heat each other up by sleeping next to each other and doing
What?
a cuddle blanket for warmth.
One. So
Wait,
do
you
humans.
both could come here and be wolf form and cuddle the cauldron
Isn't that a
together
li-
and keep it warm.
I don't
I
think
feel
that's a
like
good
that
idea.
would be a very adequate thing.
It's a very temporary kind of thing. Because I would have to go to classes and, you know, leave. And also, I have parents' day tomorrow. And why are we doing this? It's just one spell on a cauldron.
You can get your whole family to come up here and cuddle it for warmth.
I
That
feel
would
like that would be
toasty.
weirder. They would have more questions then. Hey, Zahir, why are you having us
No.
all come and cuddle a flower?
According to my understanding of animals, it would make complete sense and would not be weird.
Can I
Maybe the location.
sometimes animals are a little clumsy and step on plants too. So there's a risk
That's
that
Okay, let's just clarify something here. My family are people. Some of them can turn into animals, but they're still people. So we're not super clumsy,
No, I'm just
and
saying
we
like,
are going to ask questions.
This whole thing is ridiculous. Let's just have Zahir's mother think it's a present and try and warm it up. Like, we're overcomplicating something we already don't know anything about. We could be spending some time figuring out what this is, why it is.
I think the why is because we're great.
I say we use magic to try to keep it warm for as long as possible. And then when your mom's here, just say it's for a horticulture class or something.
If it's for a class, she won't do it.
It's a gift. Yeah, like you said, a gift then.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, so like do it to a rock and then put the rock inside.
You know, I think
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
it's
Well,
time to
it's fine.
go
Let's just keep on walking. Let's go to
do
the
something
library.
else. Yeah.
Well,
Alright.
you want to sled down the hill? Can I ride on top of you and you just belly slide in the snow?
I don't know, they're kind of big, but we can try.
Okay, I won't ride on you. I'll slide down next to you.
All right.
And as you see Allegory and Gwillem sliding down the hill, the rest of you are following in suit after. A very interesting thought process of how to keep this flower warm. How do you guys leave it? Just so I have an understanding of what it looks like as you leave.
I mean, the vines are back over top.
You put the vines
covering
back
it.
over. Okay, yeah, and as the vines go back over it and you kind of depart, and we see you at the entrance of maybe where the wilderness is, inside of the vines, we as the viewers get to see the roses' petals slowly stop sparkling, and the flower stays there. But the snow around starts trickling up over the vines once again until it is encased with ice once more. And the next day is Parents' Day. You all are in your rooms. There's a hubbub happening. You all know that your family's coming to visit you all, and it's going to be a whole ordeal. You're maybe getting ready. You're cleaning up your rooms, perhaps, to make them more, applicable to your parents coming to see them. You may be hiding and shoving some things in places so that they don't find the things that you don't want them to, whatever it may be. But there's definitely a lot of that type of thing happening in the school today as people are getting excited. And the first scene we're going to have here is going to be with Zahir and his family. He's got quite a large one. So, Zahir, kind of walk me through what you imagine Parents' Day being like for you, and if there's a scene that you would like to see RP'd from that.
I imagine that some of the younger kids are like. I said we should probably meet in my room because my room is built for a half giant. So some of the younger kids are like climbing on the trellises. There's definitely one in the corner saying I'm bored over and over again. And I'm kind of like in a corner with my mom and my dad's, just talking about something while I'm trying to like not notice the crashing that is happening behind me. And there's of course one pulling on my pant leg because that's always happening. My little sister. One of them.
All right. Yeah, we have a moment where you're in the middle of a conversation and your mother is kind of looking you over, and your two dads are, one is kind of more conscious of what your mother's looking for, and the other one is maybe trying to kind of rally some of the other kids who are on the trellis, and your little sister kind of like is tugging on your leg and she's like,
Zahir!
Yeah. What is it this time?
When are you coming home?
The end of the year. Like
When
I
is
told you
that?
twice already. I don't know. I mean, school seems to last forever and yet not long enough, so
Why is it so long?
anytime. Oh, it takes a while to learn new things.
Why?
Because I'm not very smart.
Well, you should be smarter, so then you can come home faster.
It's good advice, I'll take it. Yeah.
Why do you have to learn more things anyway? Why can't you learn them at home?
I can't learn them at home because there's some things that we don't know, you know?
What do you want to learn
Like-
it for? Why do you need to know it? What if we don't need to know it at all?
Oh, I want to know it. It's good to learn things.
To do what?
I don't know, to learn fun new spells. They can help with like hide and seek. And
Okay, that's cool.
to figure out how to fix the chimney, maybe with magic or just with like good old. Have we fixed the chimney yet? I look at one of my dads.
he smiles.
Okay, good. If the chimney breaks again, there's also just there's tons of things. You only really learn the purpose of something after you learn what it is.
Well,
And think about it,
That
the more
seems
you get to
dumb.
learn, the more you can play around with things, the more you can try new things.
what if you don't want to try new things? What if you like just doing the same thing over and over?
Well, I like trying new things.
Why?
Zara, it's Because if you don't try new things, how do you know that you're happiest where you are? You know? You don't really appreciate something until you try something else, and then you learn.
Well, I appreciate you, and I appreciate Mom, and I appreciate all of our brothers and sisters and my cousins, and I don't have to go anywhere to do that, and I don't even need to learn anything else.
Well, you're gonna have to learn some other things.
What if I don't want to?
Well, we all don't want to do stuff at times, but we have to. Well, Mom knows how to cook. Do you know how to cook?
A little. I helped her bake cookies the other day.
Well, so you'll learn something.
Then
Isn't that
Charlie
fun?
ate them all. Well, not all of them. Some of them were on the ground.
Okay, see, you learn something. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Okay, the more you learn, the more you get to try new things. You try something new. You try to cook something. You baked cookies. Did you have a good time?
Well, I didn't like having to stir things because my arm was hurting, but I liked eating the cookies, the dough.
But you can't eat the cookies unless you make cookies.
But
And
Mom
to
could just
make
make the
cookies-
cookies and then I could just eat the cookies.
Don't you want to be able to have cookies whenever you want, not just when Mom makes them for you?
Are you saying that I could just make the cookies without Mom?
Well, once you learn how, yeah.
Well, your mother kind of steps in there and is like, what do we say about when we're using devices in the house? Mom needs to be there.
Yeah, but this way Mom won't have to, because sometimes Mom's tired. She doesn't want to do the stirring and the baking. If she's just watching, maybe she's more willing to have you have cookies more often, because she doesn't have to do all the work.
Your mother smiles and your little sister goes,
Well, I'm done with this conversation because you're boring me.
and then she kind of runs off and runs over to your other brothers who are on the trellis and starts bothering one of them.
I forgot what it was like.
She's at that phase where she's just curious.
I mean, the last
questions
time
phase.
I was at home, she came to, she woke me up in the middle of the night to ask me why the moon was round.
Well, what did you tell her?
Well, I told her the moon's a big sphere of rock in the sky. And due to its own gravity, it maintains a spherical shape. And then she said, what's gravity? And then I had to explain Newton. And I don't think she got any of it because she fell asleep in my arms.
Well, perhaps she learned something then. And what
Yeah.
about you? What have you been learning? She kind of puts her hand gently on your cheek, and you feel like a semblance of calmness.
I don't know, Ma. It's been a lot. Every single time I think I've got a grasp on what I'm doing here, some new thing comes and sweeps it all away. I feel like the ground is shifting underneath my feet all the time, and I'm being challenged in ways I didn't expect. And on top of it all, I'm like having feelings for people.
Oh. Who are you having feelings for?
There's this girl in my class, Violet, and also I stare at the big bed next to mine. But he doesn't have feelings for me back.
Oh, we can't make people have feelings for us.
I know.
And you have a big heart, Zahir. It's okay to love
Yeah.
multiple people.
I know. I'm just worried, what if... What makes me lovable? You know what I mean?
There's so much that makes you lovable. Listen to you talk right now. You're analyzing yourself. I don't even have to do it.
It's just weird. I mean, except for Zane, pretty much everyone older than me is married already.
Well, you still have time.
Yeah, I know.
And you'll
It's
have many,
frightening.
many years.
Wait, you mean I'm gonna get old?
I hope so.
I need a favor, huh?
What kind of favor?
My friends and I, we found a seed. It was an important one. We knew that when we saw it. So we planted it, and it grew. It's still growing, but with the ice everywhere, it's frozen over. The pot's outside. It's in the forest. I was hoping that maybe you could do that spell you used on the comb and find a way to keep it warm so it doesn't freeze over again. I told them that I'd tell you it was like for a gift for someone, but it's not. I think it's something to do with the school, but I can't do it myself.
Well, I can maybe make you a pot of some sort. Maybe we could do that together.
Okay. Yeah. Don't tell them that I told you the truth. I mean, I know I should be telling you the truth anyway. It's just...
And here I was worried that you were getting yourselves into other kinds of trouble, and all you're doing is worrying about a plant.
Actually... I have been getting myself into a really huge amount of trouble.
See here, you know I cannot afford for you to go to this school. If you get kicked out, or
I know.
if something happens with your scholarship, there's nothing we're going to be able to do to get you back in here.
I'm well aware it was an accident, and it's done now. There's nothing I could do to control it.
What did you do?
Inside the archive of Reverie,
why didn't I
there's
hear
a
about
tree.
this?
Because no one knew about it up until recently. I think Persephone told her mother, but the dean knows. But that's it.
Okay, well, if the dean knows and the dean didn't contact your parents, then it can't be that bad. What happened?
The archive of Reverie, the tree inside is dying. It was being kept alive.
That tree's
by
gonna live forever.
It's not. It was being kept alive by a weeping heart. But I took the weeping heart from the tree because it was weeping and it was calling out to me, and it bonded to me, and then it left me and froze over the entire school.
I was actually going to ask you how your bonding went. I mean, obviously you don't have a familiar.
I'm not bonded
but...
to anything anymore. And I don't want to be right now.
Well, if it called out to you and it was hurtful, then you did the right thing. You did what you should have done. If someone needs help, that's what we do. We help them.
I know.
And there's like a kind of flashback of your mother and your family. You don't live very fancily. And your mother is often visited by many people in the town, as she's like the town healer. And so you see people coming in who are sick or they have something wrong with their child. And you always see your mother like tenderly caring for them. We come back to the scene of the two of you.
I can't. I think that its heart was broken a long time ago, and I'm trying to find the right ghost to speak to, if I can even find her. The one that she loved. They loved. Yeah, the one they loved. And I'm hoping I can find it, but I'm not 100% sure. So that's the next step. And then hopefully I can find a way to melt the ice. I feel like I'm in a movie.
Oh, my dear son, I think you need to just worry about school. Those things, it's very kind of you to worry about. But sometimes you try to take on so much of everyone else that you don't leave room for you.
Yeah, and we don't want a repeat of last time. I kind of like subconsciously roll up my sleeves.
And your
They
mother
still
pulls
hurt, you know?
something out of her pouch, kind of like hands you a little thing of cookies that are wrapped up.
Thanks. I'm doing my best. You don't have to worry about me. I like it here, for the most part.
That's good. Well, let's hope that you can stay here.
Oh, there's one other thing. Dad,
Uh,
Yeah.
shapeshifters. Not werewolves, but like shapeshifters. If they shift too many times, do they get stuck in one form? Because I've been told that, and a friend of mine is a shifter. I don't know what advice to give her.
Well, some people choose to stay in their form and others choose to move, but it's not something that's required.
So it's not something you're forced to do.
Not normally, no. You come and go as you wish. But some people choose.
Is there something that can help someone, kind of like training wheels for shifters? I mean, I know I kind of did it mostly on my own for the first time, but you know. Any advice? A book?
Well,
Her father is the shifter in the family, and he can't speak to her most days.
not having someone to guide you in the shape-shifting can be hard. Well, I think that there are a few books I could recommend. I'll send them over.
Okay. Thanks. I kind of like
And-
grab both,
oh, go ahead.
all three of my parents and just just hold them.
Yeah, I think they hold you too. It's a large embrace, and then all your little siblings all kind of crowd around, and I think we just see like this group hug that's happening in this room. And you do at some point make a pot with your mom. It is kind of a very intimate and caring scene where your fathers are both trying to manage like 6 kids each, and like your mother is helping you make this pot, and you're magically imbuing it with a warmth. That's really sweet. And we're going to move on to Persephone. What do you imagine Parents' Day is like for Persephone?
That's a very good question. I feel like because her mother basically runs the school, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if that check-in is necessary. I feel like it would be sort of a cursory thing, and that Persephone would actually be maybe left to meander a little bit that day, you know?
Yeah. What do you do
rather
when you're
than
meandering?
Well, I was looking at my character sheet again, and something I remembered is that Persephone admires Zahir because of his family. I think she would probably try to nose her way around there and be kind of sneaky and be like, just seeing what that interaction is like. Not like spying, but like she's jealous because the other families that she's seeing around her are so different from hers.
Yeah, I think we have a scene where we see you. Are you with Dahlia? Or do you do this alone?
Dahlia would be with me.
Okay. Yeah, Dahlia and you are kind of watching as you see Zahir and his mother kind of having this very interesting moment where they're crafting a pot together and imbuing it. Almost like a spell circle that you would have for a coven, but quite different And you can see the tenderness in which they speak to each other, and the openness in which they're talking about Zahir's feelings, and maybe he's discussing, how he feels about the school or other students or his teachers, or his classes. And it just seems like this very loving and caring relationship between the two of them that's very open. And sometimes one of the fathers comes in and adds their 2 cents in there. And even when you're watching the fathers kind of like helping take care of the kids, it's a fun, like you see one of the dads kind of standing there with like basically pretending to be like a monster and like a couple kids crawling on him, and one of them like pretending that they're like attacking. And it's just it just looks like a chaotic but sweet moment from your perspective. And maybe you have a conversation with Dahlia?
Yeah, because I feel like just kind of, like I said, lurking around because she sees her mom all the time.
Mhm.
Dahlia, I wish things were different.
Well, what do you wish was different?
That I was closer to my family, that I maybe even had more family, more people to talk to. I've got the coven, but I still feel isolated.
Well, you always have me.
I know.
And I think
I
your
just-
coven, well, they all seem really nice.
Yeah, be nice to be able to talk to my mother the way that like Zahir talks to his mother, and other people do. And my father, that's a whole mess now that I'm just learning about, and I can only learn and interact with him so much. And
Have you tried to talk to her that way? I mean,
not really, but
goes both ways. If you want to be open, if you want other people to be open with you, you kind of have to start by being open with them.
Do you think I should go talk to her?
Can't hurt.
It could.
Yeah, that's true. She seems like she's getting better, though.
Yeah, I think she's trying. I do. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how. She's always just been so distant with me. Even since I was little.
Well,
I guess I could go to her office and try talking to her. I don't know what to say, but I could try.
just say what you're really thinking, what you feel. I don't think you have to try to come up with different words for it.
I just always feel like I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I'm gonna be in trouble. It's that's what I've always felt like I'm just in trouble.
Well, are you doing bad things?
No, and that's what makes it so confusing. It's just, I'd like her approval once in a while.
Then you should tell her that's what you need. Sometimes the best thing we can do in a relationship is tell people what we need out of it. People can't always supply it unless they know what they need to be providing. And sometimes they might just tell you that's not something they can do.
Will you come with me?
Of course.
And Persephone's gonna make her way towards her mother's office.
Yeah, you make your way towards your mother's office. And you just see as you get up there that someone is just leaving the room. It looks like a couple parents, They are dressed very finely. One of them has kind of what looks like a cloak that's a royal blue with gold trimming, and the two of them are kind of whispering something as they come out of the room. And they look to you, and the mother smiles. The father is kind of looking distantly off, and they walk past you. You come up to the door, and as per usual, it's almost like she always knows when someone's there. The door swings open. Oh, Persephone.
How's Parents' Day going?
Always busy as per usual. I'm sorry I can't be with you, but you understand, right?
I'm trying to.
Give me a moment. And she kind of for a moment pauses, and it's like there's a conversation happening, but not out loud, right? And then as she comes back to, she says, I canceled my next meeting. That's it.
You canceled it for me?
Of course. I told you I was going to try to be better, and so here's me trying.
I'm not okay. I don't know if you know that, but I'm really not.
I didn't, but now that I do, what's wrong?
There's so much happening, and everything with my father and with me, and I just don't know what I'm doing, and I just wish we talked.
Well, I guess we can try to find more time to talk. I suppose this is my fault. I guess I'm not mother material. But I will try. And maybe we can figure out around my schedule and yours when we can talk.
I'd really like that. I need my mother. I don't need the dean. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I'm so sorry. I owe you an apology, but I also don't know what to do. So, will
I
you
don't
be patient
either.
with me in this process as I learn how to be better?
I need you to listen sometimes, and I need advice that's from you to me and not related to anything else, and it's all I've really wanted. And I know you're trying, and I see, and I appreciate it, and it's hard not to be jealous of other people and their families sometimes.
I will try. I've never been a good mother to you, and I know that. I was thinking I was protecting you, but I know maybe I might have done things differently. But I'm also just, that's not my strong suit. I'm good at keeping things in order and controlling things, not necessarily
Well,
understanding people's feelings, but I will try to listen. I will try to give motherly advice, but I might not give the best advice when it comes to that. But I will try.
And I might not do the best things because I'm still learning and figuring things out. And maybe we can learn together.
Have you
Because
thought much about what your father told you?
I have. And I actually wanted to ask about that. You know, you've been so distant, but I'm assuming you loved him at some time and felt feelings and like why, how? I mean, did you meet him at school or I don't know anything about him and you.
I still love your father, but it hurts to not be around the person you love. And I suppose I've put you through that in some way, and I'm sorry. We did meet in school, in this very school. But your father chose a different path for a good cause. And although we do love each other, we both know what he decided was the right thing. At the time, someone was trying to use the keeper's staff for something very dangerous. As you know, the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. And sometimes people do not adhere to that. But your father is a kind and gentle soul. He is the type of person who would give you great motherly advice. I have never been one to be in touch with my feelings or those type of things. And I guess when he made that decision, I saw it like everything else in my life, that I was on my own and that the only person who can control my happiness is me. So I let it go. And I guess part of me worries that someday you'll make that choice too. Because, as your father told you, our line is cursed now. And although there are many ways to lift curses, I have tried and I have looked and I have seeked. It is one of the reasons why I became the dean of this school. I have learned everything that is possible. I have yet to find a solution.
I don't know. I mean, are you trying to say I'm cursed? I don't feel that way.
In a way, your father told you right. That's what he said he did. I hope he told you. That's what he said he did.
But there's got to be something for it. And maybe we can find something. Maybe together if you talk to me and
Sure. We can try. But I guess before we try, I should tell you where I started. And I think this scene ends up being your mother. She opens a little portal that opens up. It's like a little pocket dimension, literally like the size of the pocket. She pulls her hand in and pulls out what looks like this huge binder. It's bound by like magical inscribings, and it's latched with a lock. And she pulls out a magic key from like a pocket in her robe and unlocks it. And the book flips open, and you can just see it is filled with research in regards to curses, ways to cure curses, all kinds of different types of curses. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And you can see that she has started this since years and years before, when she was younger, when she was probably just a bit older than you, maybe like 4 or 5 years older than you. And because you're around like the age of 14ish. So yeah, it was in her adulthood, but she's been doing that since then. So it has almost been 14 years worth of research that is in this booklet. And I think we kind of pan away as the two of you are kind of sifting through this knowledge base of all the curses in the entire universe, pass way beyond just Improvar and the world that you're in and living in, which is like probably a little bit mind-boggling for you that your mother has traveled to other planets, but she does share this with you. And kind of, is there anything that you wanted to say or anything that you want people to see as like we pan away from that scene?
Just that while this is happening, Persephone reaches out and takes her mother's hand.
Yeah, and I think when you do that, your mother kind of like flinches for a moment. Like, she's never been a touchy person, and touching is not something that she's welcoming of in most cases. But it kind of relaxes, and she takes your hand back. And we see little Dahlia rolled up in a little ball, kind of sleeping, looking cute, listening to the two of you. And we're going to pan to Allegory. Oh dear Allegory, what does it look like when your father and you are hanging out? Or what do you imagine Parents' Day is like for you? You do know that your father has been at Grimrose Academy. It has been, a lot of long hours for him. He's been really focused on the tree and the vines of the tree. And now that everything's frozen over, you can see that he's working really closely with the Order of the Flame. He's kind of almost like the muscle in regards to whatever they need. He's like moving stuff so that they can like warm up things. And he's just trying to be as helpful as he can in regards to that. But do you think he finds time for you, and what do you think that looks like?
I think he kind of forgets and is working, and Allegory is kind of watching until he finds a moment to approach his father.
Okay. Yeah, you see him doing some work, but he's totally approachable.
Yeah. Dad.
Oh, Allegory. Sorry. What can I help you with?
I know you're busy trying to solve something I kind of caused, maybe. But it is Parents' Day, and I was wondering if we could go for a walk.
Well, let me finish this up and then we can go for a walk. I wouldn't mind relaxing my legs a bit.
For Mom. I know it's not the day, but this is the one time I think we'll be together and the only moment I see. But just let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, you see him kind of finishing up a task. And it takes him some time, but then he kind of clasps his hand in a little bit of dirt and puts it over there. And you see little sprinkles of magic kind of falling down. And he turns to you and claps his hand and says,
All right, where are we walking to?
Well, I want to show you my favorite spot, and also Gwillem's there, and I want you to meet him.
Ah, yes. Your Pengo Bear. I don't know if I'm ready for that, I'll agree.
Can you just give him a chance? He's really fun and gentle.
I will try for you.
I appreciate it, and also you get to see my favorite spot, and also we'll plant a tree in honor of Mom, and also I wanted to talk to you about something, but I'm really anxious and nervous about it. Or maybe two things, but it depends on how you react to the first one. I'm saying too much out loud. I'm nervous. I'm sorry.
You always have that attribute, like your mother. But for me, I don't think this is great planting conditions. We could start, though.
Or at least pick a spot then.
That sounds like a good idea. And in the spring, we can plant.
That's fair.
and he
Also,
follows
isn't it
you.
weird that the snow hit how it did? That's as they're walking.
Yeah, as you're walking, the ground shakes a little, and you feel it vibrate under your feet because your father is so large. He's a giant, and the two of you are walking on, and he says,
Yes, the cold came sooner than it should. We weren't able to get the harvest done in time.
Yeah. I was outside and I saw it come, and it came and froze everything fast like a wave. It was like a cold bomb went off and it rolled all across the ground.
Yes, it froze the tree, the elder elm. Well, it is not doing well to begin with, but in some ways the ice might be helping, and in others hindering it. But I suppose we will do our best to help it out. The Order of the Flame has finally assisted, so that is at least something. What about that spot
Yeah.
there, by the creek?
I think that's the spot I was thinking of.
Well, we do come from the same branch after all.
I suppose.
You wanted to talk about something. What is on your mind, my
Yeah.
son?
Well, in conversation with my roommate Zahir, you know Zahir. He's the scholarship student.
Yes.
He's really nice
Very
and
kind
in
fellow.
conversation and very talented, but self-doubting. Anyway, I discovered that I don't things the way people do. I didn't know
"You're cutting out
how
for us
you
a
feel,
bit."
or is it? Oh, I didn't know. Is this better?
I think so for now. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you met Mom. Did you have to look up in a book what attractive is?
Oh no, I knew right away what I was attracted to. But it is okay if you're not sure what you're attracted to.
I I don't think I feel it in the same way that others do. I don't have like crushes on anyone, even though apparently people have crushes on me.
Well, that
But
is okay. Maybe you haven't found the person that warms your fern. Or maybe there won't ever be one that you feel that way for.
is that a thing? Is that because I'm of the plant part of me?
I think that's just because you are who you are, I'll agree. And I don't think any of us expect you to be otherwise.
He
Oh,
kind of
okay.
puts one of his large fingers like on your chest and says,
What matters is what's in your heart.
Gwillem's there. Do you think you'll give Gwillem a chance?
I will try.
Gwillem, I think
I'll agree.
you told him not to move
Yeah, I'll
until
agree,
you were
yeah,
ready. So he's like waiting. He's like shaking. He's like
Yeah.
in a little ball of energy, just like, oh my God, waiting.
Okay, Gwillem, you can come out now.
And he comes flinging out where from behind like one of the trees. And he's just like, and then he stops and pauses in place as he sees your father and kind of isn't sure what to do.
Hello! Hi! Does he like me? Does he like me? Does he like me? Do I need to do something? Should I stand like this? Should I roll? Should I be in ball mode? Well, what should I do?
He's nervous too, Dad. I think you should get lower to his level, maybe.
Your dad kind of creaks down his knees a bit and sits on the ground and says, as he's doing so,
Well, it appears we are both nervous, little one. I will try.
and he puts out his hand that's like the size of Gwillem, probably, or his like arm. It's pretty close to the size of Gwillem because your father's quite large. I imagine him being like 2 or 3 sizes of you. Like he's just a big person. And he puts down his hand and it's like almost the size of Gwillem, and Gwillem can come up and kind of sniff it.
Oh, he smells like the earth.
Yeah. It's pretty nice.
I like it.
He like sticks out his tongue and like they have weird tongues. It's like a really long, like skinny tongue, and he like licks one of the fingers and your father kind of like isn't sure what to do and then realizes it's okay. And there's like a moment there where the both of them are kind of coming to friendship-ish. They're getting to know each other.
One last thing, Dad. What do you know of the Grimrose? Did you ever see one?
I have not lived long enough to have seen one, but there are many stories of them.
And your father, as he's sitting down on the ground, do you join him when he's sitting down on the ground? And I think like Gwillem starts
Yeah.
getting into his lap so you have this giant with a little pango bear in his lap, and he kind of starts telling you the stories of the Grimrose that he has heard. But it's most of the stuff that you've heard. It's myths and legends and things of that sort, like that of Daya and such. And I think it is this tender moment where you do have your father overcoming his fear of pango bears and understanding, and you getting a little bit of insight into what your father knows about the Grimrose. And speaking of a Grimrose, Violet, feeling a little bit more considerate than normal, as Allegre's crit has given Violet the considerate trait. We had conversations behind the scenes about this. Tell us what you imagine Parents' Day being like for you.
I like to think there's an itinerary that the school puts out, and like some people go off and do their own thing, but my parents are like following this itinerary to a T. And I imagine we're either at like a luncheon kind of thing where it's like really formal and really fancy, and we're sitting at a beautifully set table with like tea and just really fancy food, and it's just the three of us at this table together.
Yeah, the three of you are sitting at the table, and your mother and father are both sitting there very properly. Your mother's dressed in a very nice outfit. Your father is dressed in a suit. Neither of them are magical, so I think that there's an element to them that feels a little uncomfortable about being here and not sure what to do. But your mother takes her like spoon and starts like eating the food, and she's just like, Violet, so how are your classes going?
Good. I'm learning a lot of different things. We learned how to make a tranquility stone recently and a void of honesty.
What's a tranquility stone? And
Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
no, explain. Sorry, but if you could slow down a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It's a stone that it's like an amethyst, and you hold it, and it's supposed to calm your heart.
Oh, that would be useful.
Yeah. And then a void of honesty is where if you need someone to tell you the truth about something, you can kind of force them to tell you the truth.
Well, that seems they teach you that.
Yeah, I learned that in a class.
Seems a little aggressive for students. Don't you think, honey?
Yes, why would they teach you that?
I don't make the curriculum. I guess it's good skills to have. I think they try to also teach us to not abuse it and be good people and use judgment.
Well, that's good.
How's your food?
Oh, it's good. It's delightful.
I was wondering, how come Leonore didn't come?
They're busy.
Ah. Yeah, I don't know why. I just assumed that they would be coming.
Well, it is Parents' Day, and Leonora's not your parent.
Oh, yeah, I have a friend named Zahir, and his whole family came, so I didn't realize. I don't know. It's fine. I was just curious.
I understand. And she smiles and just continues to eat her food and looks at you a bit odd. And then after a couple bites goes, but Leonore is not our family. Violet.
In a way, I mean, I grew up with them, and they're always at our house, and
But that doesn't make them family. She's our cook.
well, what about, does family have to be blood related?
Well, some would say so. You'd like to inherit something.
Not everybody wants something.
That's true. But most people do. Right, dear. And your father, he's just eating very calmly. And he's like, yeah.
Of course,
You don't
dear.
think
Mhm.
Leonora's family? Like in some way. I understand that we don't come from the same bloodline, but
No, she's our cook.
she's more than just a cook. To me.
Okay. What more is she to you?
I don't know. She taught me how to cook.
I told you not. You weren't supposed to be in that room. And there are plenty of other things for you to be doing than learning how to cook.
Like what?
I mean, that's why you're here.
What's more? Well, I'm here now. Why can't I learn how to cook?
Because it's above your station, Violet.
Do you not know how to cook, Mom? Like at all?
Well, what would I have a use for cooking? Leonore does the cooking for me. I can use my time for other things.
I don't know. Leonora always listened to me.
Well, we listen to you.
Do you?
I'm listening to you right now, dear.
I think there's a difference between hearing someone's words and then actually listening to them.
I think you should bite your tongue and respect your mother.
Don't you think I've done that my whole life?
Sometimes.
When have I not?
Every time you ended up in the corner.
How many times do you need me to sit down and shut up? Is that what you
Well,
want?
Whenever you're misbehaving, that is when. Of course, you're getting older now, so maybe the corner isn't the way to deal with that. I did hear that you did end up in detention.
I'm surprised I didn't get a letter or a packet from you reprimanding me for it.
Well, the dean reassured me that the repercussions for your actions were going to be good enough, and that you had learned from your mistakes. But perhaps you didn't.
Do you even know what's going on in my life right now?
Well, we get the reports.
So my grades.
Yes, your grades and the details from your teachers.
What about me? Like me as Violet, a person.
Well, you haven't really written us much.
You haven't written me.
Do you want us to write you?
Do you want to write me?
Well, I'm very busy.
You're always busy.
Well, how do you think the estate stays the way that it is?
You don't even work.
Well, I have other duties than working in the trivial sense.
What's more important than your own child? Status?
Violet, you are very important to us. You are the legacy of our family. And
I'm just gonna look at my dad. Like, is he just sitting there eating and not even like doing anything?
your father is just like, as per usual, like your mother, like she is the reason you have the affluent family lifestyle you have. And so he kind of has always just gone along with what she wants. It's like she's a Taurus and he's like, he'll just follow whatever she wants to do. He's very easygoing. But he does kind of see your gaze and he looks at you. He doesn't say words because he's not a man of many words, but he does give you a look like just appease your mother type of look. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then he like continues to eat food unless you want him to say something. Or
No,
ask
I
him
just
something.
linger on him as he gives me that look and then just continues to keep eating.
Yeah.
Well, what would you like for me to do post school?
Well, I suppose it depends on what your skill set is that you like. I would love for you to take over the estate someday and continue keeping it afloat and perhaps someday give it to your children.
But if I don't want kids?
Well, then it would go to one of your cousins or your cousin's children's. But I would like to see it stay in our family line. I would like for you to have kids.
Would you even be present in my kid's life?
Of course. We have many holidays that we'll celebrate together. Me
Leonor's
internally.
family. Yeah, I would just look at her. Leonor's more family to me right now. Because they actually knew who I was as a person, and you know nothing about me. And I've been away from you for long enough now to realize some of the things
Violet.
that aren't really okay.
Stop. Don't talk to your mother that way, and not in public.
I'm not even
We'll
talking
continue
that
this
loud.
conversation in your room later, in private. And I think this dinner continues in a very uncomfortable manner. Is there
Slow-
anything
I'm gonna
else?
eat in
Yeah.
quiet, probably. Just
Eat in quiet. And I think that we're going to pan back slightly to Allegory with his father in the Whispering Wilds. You see this giant, and the story is wrapping up now. But Allegory, you hear something in your mind. It doesn't seem like your father or Gwillem is reacting to this, but you hear something just like, in your ear or in your mind. But it doesn't seem like anyone else is reacting to that, but that's what you hear. Some kind of strange whispering. And that is where we will end today's episode. The look on everyone's face. Oh my gosh. Katie, I'm having the hardest time keeping my shit together with your parents. I'm like so sorry.
you did great.
Okay.
Can
I was
I
like, oh,
cast
this
avoid
feels
advantage?
I just
so
wanted. I was.
awful.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
That
I
I
whole
wanted
family-
Violet to explode.
that whole family needs to take a round of tranquility stones and step into a void of honesty. Okay?
we need to have like a necklace of tranquility stones we wear at all times.
Oh my gosh, this is too funny. Okay. With that, we are wrapping up today's episode. Thank you so much to everyone who's joining. We are going to go record an after show where I'm sure we're going to talk more about that. I was having a struggle bus keeping it together. I was like, but before we go into where you can find all of these lovely folks, we want to remind you that we do have our amazing sponsor, Roll20. If you're curious about how we roll our dice, how they look all fancy, how we do our maps and all of that jazz, we definitely recommend checking out Roll20. They have so many different ways that you can play tabletop games with your friends virtually. So it's a great way to keep in touch with people that are at a distance, like all these lovely faces. And of course, we do have new Twitch emotes. I already saw a bunch of you using them, so hopefully you're enjoying them. I feel like there's a lot of dumpster fires happening. There was a lot of lore here, maybe some bussing happening. But we hope that you enjoy them and like them. And if you have other ideas on emotes that you'd like to see, let us know. And we do have some merch. If you want to check out our merch, you can head on over to designbyhumans.com/shop/rollfort. Keep yourself warm during this wintry season, especially if you are in Grimrose Academy with this chilling cold that has come over us. And if you'd like to support us, the best way to support us is like Hero Sheep, our supporter for today. Thank you, Hero Sheep. If you're a legend here or above over on our Patreon, you get to be our supporter for an episode, and you get access to a privately GM'd game, which is always super duper fun. And of course, as a patron supporter, you get access to all kinds of goodies, like our monthly recap that's out, NPC name posts, Ascension character sheets are out, and all kinds of things. I do have a lot of things for Grimrose Academy, so we'll try to figure out where we can disperse those in this month because I've been busy and I haven't had time to necessarily get to that. So I'd love for you guys to get some little tidbits, or if there's things that you want to see, let me know. And of course, you can support us right here on Twitch by becoming a Twitch sub, which gets you access to those emotes, as well as access to the video right away when we close this down. And then also you can become a YouTube member where you get access to some of those emotes. And whether you're a YouTube member, a Twitch subscriber, or a patron supporter, you can get access to a private Discord, which I'm excited to chat with you guys about. This episode was definitely one to get to know the characters and like where they came from. And they had a wish for Parents' Day. So you all wish for this. I don't know why, but you did. And of course, there's non-monetary ways for you to support us, like watching here live on Twitch, making clips while we're live, watching on YouTube, subscribing, liking, commenting, and of course, following us on Twitter, Facebook, and all of those jazz. Liking, sharing, retweeting, everything helps find Roll For It, and shares the love and the stories and the characters that we've been creating. And we have plenty more to share. And with that, I'm going to do a little round where people can say where you can find them at. And we'll start with Violet, played by Play Katie Play. Where can people find you at when your parents are not being awful?
It's about the estate. That's what's important. So I'm Katie Peters Plays. You can find me on Twitch at Katie Peters Plays. And we're playing the Callisto Protocol right now. So I'm in heaven because it's space horror. And I'll be doing that more on my Twitch channel the next week. I'll see how long I can make the game last because I'm going to try to. You can catch me on 2 podcasts. Katie hasn't seen that, where I watch movies I should have seen by now and haven't. And so there's a new episode that came out Thursday on Magic Mike. And then I'm also on Quantum Drive, an Orville themed podcast where we talk about the TV show. And what else about me? Can't think of anything else at the moment, so that's it.
She has a mistletoe, so that's an important thing.
The important things. The mistletoe is hanging on my stream.
And of course, Allegory, played by Apocalypse 12. Where can people find you at when you are not having heartwarming moments with your father?
Well, hopefully finding more heartwarming moments with my father as I go visit him this holiday season. But you can find me over on my podcast called Go My Favorite Sports Team. It's a sports podcast, but it's designed for not sports people. So if you want to learn and have fun while doing so, check it out. It's me and my friend Mark, aka Markiplier. I'm also here on Roll For It. For this show, my D&D campaign otherwise has wrapped up, but you can follow me on social media as Apocalypse_12. Find out where I'm at.
All right. And Persephone, played by Strange Like That. Where can people find you at when you are not learning all the things about curses?
I mean, I'm probably doing that in real life too, to be honest. But you can find me everywhere online is at Strange Like That. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, my website, Hive as of recently when it's working. You can also find me over at 12-Sided Stories. Right now, the campaign that I ran, Unquiet Blood Hellfire, which is a game of Vampire 5e, is launching. There's about 4 episodes out right now. It's fully produced, sound effects, music, the whole 9. Check it out. It's ridiculous and lots of vampire goodness.
Fabulous. And last but not least, we have Zahir, played by Werewolf Feels. Where can people find you at when you're not having wonderful moments with your family?
Oh, I do that every year around this time, and great, my throat's closing up. There we go. When I'm not hanging out with my family, you can find me taking a nap, finally. I just finished up writing for Into the Motherland, so that's exciting. You can check that out in the new year, along with several projects I'm sensitivity consulting for. I'm also on a podcast, because aren't we all these days? You're on a podcast too. You may just not know it yet. You can find me playing an Efreet called Azam over on the Atomless, a Starfinder RPG podcast with some of my friends. It's a lot of fun. We just got we're involved in a merch deal on the Welcome In, so we now have soaps based on our characters. So you can find those on the Familiar Shop. That's shop with a extra P and an E.
Are they like scented like your
They're
characters?
scented.
Okay, all right.
They're
I was like,
scented.
what? Or they like, what is that?
Yeah, it's I think Azam's is scented like incense and campfires, which kind of makes sense for Nefrit, right? On top of that, you can find me over everywhere under the name Werewolf Fields. Hive, sure. Twitch, when I'm online, which I'm planning to do more this December. Twitter, as long as it survives. Instagram, I only post pictures of my dog and sometimes the sky. But you know, I'm places. You can find me all over. And last but not least, truly last, but certainly not least, Margaret, where can we find you when you're not helping us work through our parental trauma?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Some of you weren't working through your parental trauma. You're just dealing. But I'm Margaret Crone. You can find me at Margaret Crone in all the places. I do lots of things on the internet. I'm very much enjoying Grimrose Academy and I'm excited. I'm kind of sad that we're going into our penultimate episode next week, but I hope that you all will tune in and enjoy what's in store for you. And we will have Char joining us for the finale episode. So I'm very excited to have her coming back. But you can also find me, well, I make games and video games for a living, so you can find my creations over, currently I'm working on a project called Ashes of Creation, which you can find at Ashes of Creation in all of the places. And I made this game, which is in Spellcraft, which you can find you can find this over on Drive Through RPG, and we're working towards the next edition, which is going to be a much more complicated system, but I hope folks will like it. But with that, we are going to go record an after show. We hope you all have a wonderful, magnificent week. Is it Saturday yet? We'll see you next Saturday.